Hey there, and welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for joining me once again for another iced coffee and another Minecraft video. This is going to be somewhat different from what we've known so far. As you can see, we've just reached the edge of the desert here, and we're very thirsty, we're very tired, but it looks like we have finally reached the kingdom of the Seven Hills. The legends have told me that this is what this place is called. We're going to explore it together. Find some interesting things, possibly secrets. Enjoy the sights, the sounds, and the experience together. As you can see, these are some farmhouses that supposedly belong to a bigger city, the walls of which we can see in the background. Some wonderful hedges, well protected crop fields with some scarecrows, some beetroot, wheat, and carrots from the looks of it. My friends, I must tell you that this world is huge, and we'll definitely not have enough time to explore everything, but we'll do our best. There are several bridges connecting this area with this watchtower standing proudly, the eastern watchtower. And it looks like the guards are not on their post, but at least the tower is well equipped. We could take a look from up top, hopefully. They have a nice collection of reading material here. Some armor for when duty calls. A lovely sleeping arrangement, with everyone being able to sleep in their own style. I would like a bed with a frog pattern blanket. And as you can see, we're situated on this farmland. Wonderful flag flying, soaring in the wind. That way, I'm not sure which direction that is, but it looks like it's just the desert from where we came. It was an arduous journey, but it does look like it's worth it. I'm very excited to see what that city has to offer us. Hopefully bustling life and maybe some delicacies, maybe some secrets, maybe some cute things. We'll see. So let's make our way over there. I suppose this road should probably lead us straight there. Again, through these lovely farmhouses with some animals wandering around. Just having a nice, relaxing time on this nice relaxing day together with us, nice and relaxed. I hope you are. I always find myself getting relaxed when I make these videos, even though of course the primary purpose is to relax you. I can't talk in this voice for too long without feeling calm and serene myself. Some more buildings that way with a couple of horses. Another watchtower. I love that house with a thatch roof. Very whimsical. Looks like something straight out of a fairy tale. With a well next to it. A cart, some sheep. And some plants as well. Wonderful windmill in the background. They are quite well. The infrastructure is quite well built out, I have to say. They have water mills, they have windmills, they have all these stables and these ranches and wonderful, rustic but clean and neat looking farmhouses. And scarecrows, of course. It looks like these are some more serious farms with stone walls around the animal pens. And somewhat intimidating, you have this lava fall in the wall of what I assume is the capital city of the Seven Hills. You have a dam over here, as you can see, waterfall on this side of the gate. The river is just gently flowing on this other side. Now, I don't want to trespass, so I would like to find an official entrance to this wonderful city. That's probably not the lava falls and the skulls in the wall. Although this is an older map, so we have to keep in mind some of those skulls might have just been player head decorations. Another windmill over here. And it looks like the wall is dropping, following the line of the terrain. So perhaps we'll find a gate here. And it's high time because, of course, the sun looks like it's setting sometime soon. We really just should have followed the road, right? Oh, I already see a huge dome over there. I wonder what that could be. Possibly a beacon over there, touching the sky. And as you can see, we have reached the city of the Seven Hills. I promise if I find a post office, I will send you a postcard from here. You have a lever here, and a button. Possibly for the door mechanism, but I don't want to tamper with it. Let's see, that's quite a crowded entrance over here. Must be some auxiliary gate, not the one used by the king's armies. Assuming there are armies and assuming there's a king. So let's stay on the ground level for now, right? We have some stores, customs house. Hey there, gents, I don't really have anything to declare. Alright, they are okay with it. But very nicely built interior. You have some stores over here. Oh, storage. Alright. I suppose that's just decoration, but we're not going to be minding that. Continuing on we have a barracks. That would be nice because I'm getting sleepy. There's a soldier's rest tavern. Well, friends, that's made for us, I have to say. A lovely bar counter with a brewing stand, making some vicious booze over there. And upstairs we find a wonderful resting place with the flag of what I assume is the city, and a curious little cat painting. Also a creeper painting. Well, I don't like to be woken up by a creeper standing right next to me, so I'll stick with the cat bed. Good night, friends. I just had my morning coffee. Alright, there's a waterfall right there, interesting. Haven't noticed it this far. So let's exit the tavern and explore more of this wonderful city. These alleyways are quite labyrinthian, bit of a maze. Look at this interesting building, it's almost like a much more ancient style. This is Nicodemus's keep, with an interesting door mechanism that looks like a wall until you step over here. Oh, I'm a huge fan of the ceiling, look at that. It's quite reminiscent of what I believe is called cassette ceiling. In real life, of course. This Nicodemus friend must be perhaps a wise man, a strange old wise man. He's got the creeper head. It looks perhaps a doll's head or something. Some banners in here, interestingly enough, and some books. Seven Hills version 1, I suppose, and Seven Hills version 2. They're enchanted books though, so I don't think we can read them. Oh, we can though. Friends, let's find a place where we can sit down and have a lovely read. Interesting, look at this. It's like a very decorative armor. Perhaps diamond, but I'm not so sure. So it is worth it looking into some of these chests, although most are for decoration, but not all of them, it seems. So much knowledge, look at this. There's a lever. Oh my goodness. Very clever. You know, I bet you on one of these bookshelves you have a fake book, and if you move that, you get access to a secret, even more secret room than everything else. Looks like some well-protected treasure, but oh yes, it's just more of those banners in the ender chests. Very nice. We'll hold on to these books and we're going to read them once we can find a lovely special place to sit down. We'll make one of those special moments, you know, with some lovely sound effects. Oh, the sunlight, it's almost blinding at first. Beautiful little waterfall. Could we stay on the ground level yet, you think? A mini stable for this horse. What else have we got here? I'm just wandering around, almost aimlessly. This is half timber house. Does that mean... Does it mean they have anything to do with timber, or is that just the branding? It looks like just a residential area. We don't want to intrude. Now that looks interesting. Must be a church. What do we have here? Crazy Charlie's Bunkhouse and Eatery. Oh goodness. I love what they've done with all the names. We do have a cake over here. I think that is what it is. But we're not hungry just yet. We can find something else to eat later on. It's almost like being tourists, don't you think? We have some tiny barracks types rooms there. Absolute myriad of houses, and in such variety too. The creators of this map really must be proud. I wanted to see that church. I love this fountain too. I wonder if this should be a bit of a figure or some... To me that looks like a frog, right? So these would be its front legs, that would be the head, and then the hind legs are sort of fused with this pedestal. But I do think it's a frog. And I know a frog when I see one. I'm just looking for an entrance into this church-looking building. Look at this, this is also wonderful. It's a tiny, tiny park in the middle of the city. You always need green. You can't have stone and concrete everywhere. You need some green at least. You know how, when you enter churches, you have these bowls with holy water? Lovely attention to detail. And I think this is actually a lovely place to sit down and absorb some of the atmosphere. A church, after all, is something that you always visit as a tourist, right? Its architectural importance, its cultural importance, and of course the atmosphere. Just listen with me. It is time to say amen and go now. Out of respect, we're going to bend the knee and then leave. Which way should we head next? I would like to... What is this grand place? And what is that? It's a shulker box. Oh yes, this is because of the texture pack. Gate quarter Gao. It looks like we need to use this lever. Uh-oh. We've gotten ourselves into a bit of a predicament here. Entering a prison like this. And I suppose there's no way out, is there? I didn't think this through. Well, we are in creative mode, so worst case scenario, we can just break ourselves out. That's what we're going to do. Looks like this is just a cell, prison cell part, and this bigger building above. This is Zagor's Holdfast. This Zagor must be a connoisseur of arts, from the looks of it. And of course, an avid reader. This is also for the lights. Yes. I still like what they've done with that. We should be looking for inspiration over here, friends. If there's anything that you see that you really like and think we should integrate it into our own little worlds, just let me know in the comments, right? We have, this is my favorite, I think, in the entire city. A little cart that sells perhaps soup or something like that. Excuse me, I would like one portion, please. Alright, we are in creative mode. Nonetheless, we can say that we've eaten now. Thank you very much. Some interesting looking places over there as well, but this is what was most interesting to me. This large, beautifully carved, decorated, ornate, and sparkling white building with some interesting window designs. This is Gareth Nostromo's tower. It must either be a very influential wizard from, well, judging by the name. He's got some, indeed, a bit eerie looking magic emanating from down below. Let's check it out and see the source of that magic. Although I don't suppose it would be as easy finding our way down as that. Let's go upstairs and see what this is about. Maybe this is just a Minecraft player. Not a powerful wizard, but someone who's completed the game and started collecting things. Now I love this. Look at all these vines and potted plants. This is absolutely to my liking. You know how much I love plant decorations. And now we can enter this room here, which leads us into an interestingly small place with 2 brewing stands. Maybe this is where the most forbidden of experiments take place. And then we can also come up here to a library section. I believe that would be it. No. It still goes further up. Perhaps like a blacksmith type of area. Although I'm not quite sure what these anvils are meant to represent. Now from here we can enter what looks like a secondary tower. I wonder where this leads. With a very treacherous and difficult to navigate staircase. Look, you can fall down here at any time if you're not careful. This Yegeth, I'm sorry, Nostromo was the last name, but I don't know the first. Must be a very fit individual walking these stairs all day. And he's got a beautiful view to every direction at the city. This could be an arts room as well, right? You have so much natural sunlight in here. You could just set up an easel and start to paint. Well, coming down is a bit easier at least. You can still go upstairs, I believe. So we're going to explore this tower fully. He's got a nether portal and an end portal even. He likes to visit other dimensions. He's got a zombie head over there. Very creepy. And then of course everybody needs to sleep sometimes, so he's got a bedroom too. Oh yes, and a wizard's workshop. Perhaps this is the dome that we saw from outside, or at least a similar one. Some strangely decorated runic wizard's table with some candles perhaps. Strange looking beacon lights. Books with forbidden knowledge. I think we're going to read about the city right here while listening to the atmosphere of this wizard's workshop. Let's see. The beginning. In the time of myth, the good people of Seven Hills were under the yoke of the cruel Fremen, a desert people. Life was harsh and short. Abused we were, until the brave Lord Menway arose in might. It was he who led the rebellion against our Fremen captors, and then led our exodus across the desert. For 5 years we journeyed. Many of our number fell. Menway then told our people of a vision in which he beheld a great city between 7 hills. This was to be our anointed home. 2 full years passed before we found this place, where you now stand. Lore tells us that we had not long settled when we were attacked by a great worm, Slog, killing a great number of souls. Manu then forged the great sword, imbuing it with many eldritch runes. Alone, he entered the cave where Slog lay in rest. Great must have been the battle between our hero and the Lord, and the foul worm. At last, wounded by many cuts and bone weary, Manu emerged from the cave victorious. We then spent 10 full years building our town, when we were assaulted by our former captors, the cursed Fremen. Under our Lord's Manu's leadership, we overcame the Fremen in battle. Manu then led an expedition into the desert to destroy the Fremen once and for all. Our Lord was as a hammer to the Fremen, destroyed the desert people almost completely. To our dismay, some fled deeper into the desert, hiding in places we could not find them. We would be troubled many times in the years that followed by Fremen attacking our caravans and people. Our great Lord Manu ruled over this until his death in his 85th year. A more wise and benevolent Lord there was never. Legend says he was laid to rest in an oak coffin in a crypt of the whitest quartz. He and his riches can only be found by traveling through water. 7 hills grew as each year passed. We are now a mighty city-state, rulers of all we survey. We are served by a good lord, and several honorable guilds. The Merchants Guild, the Warriors Guild, the Mages Guild, and the Serpent Riders. Seven Hills is also plagued by the vile Varian Thieves Guild and Order of the Black Hand. A discourse on the guilds. The Merchants Guild. The Merchant Guild are responsible for the commerce of the city, and in no small part responsible for the wealth and prosperity. All traders must pay annual membership of 10 golden crowns to the guild. The banner of the guild must be displayed in their places of business. The Warriors Guild. The ancient and honorable Warriors Guild traces its proud history to the time of Manwë. 5 comrades in arms did Manwë have: Thorin, Ulmo, Fionn, Drist, and Hal. These comrades apprenticed able young warriors who banded together under one banner. Since that time, any warrior who wishes to be a member of the guild must prove his salt by undergoing the trials of fire, earth, and ice. If they survive, they are welcomed into the guild brotherhood for life. Very interesting. So this tells us a couple of interesting things. First of all, there is an interesting crypt to be found, of many, that can only be reached by water. It's a great quartz crypt. It also tells us that there is a trial of fire, ice, and earth, and that is how to join the Warriors Guild. I don't know if we can find all of that today, but we'll keep a lookout, and I suppose that must be the Merchant Guild's banner that is displayed in all the places of business. Inn of the Prancing Pony. Quite a few references, right? We've reached what looks like a bit of a square over here, with some braziers and wonderful trees. And oh yeah, the Merchants Guild Hall. It looks like there's very heated debate taking place at this table very often. And then we have some other large buildings with their own banners, because this is the Warriors Guild. Decorated by some ornate legendary armor. This is the mess hall. Here hangs the ancient banner of the Warriors Guild. They must have been great heroes, these 5 comrades. You have the sleeping quarters over here. And the training hall, of course, for which you already need to climb the stairs, so it's double training. With defenders like this, I don't suppose the city has anything to fear. I suppose this must be the banner of 7 Hills in general, not just the Merchants Guild. You have fizzbands, discount spellbooks. Do you think anything goes wrong when you try to use them? We can't find any actual enchanted books over here, I think. It's just bookshelves. And you have the Hayhold. Perhaps a military district. A fortress of sorts. Hey there, friend. We have these towering stone walls. Carts. Not too many plants here. I don't know if I like it, of course. You have to have some of this in a city as well. And this is another church. The Ager or Ager Chapel. I quite like this one as well. Beautiful stained glass windows. And then you have Elminster's Tower. So yes, a lot of this is Dungeons and Dragons reference. The castle stables. Kennels. You have a preview over here, very nicely detailed. Although, yes, not much privacy. You have the council lodge as well. And you have the Rohan Keep. So far we have Dungeons and Dragons. We have, oh, another portal, wow. We have Lord of the Rings references. We have Dune references. I think that's everything so far. Look at this wonderful sunset shining this beautiful yellowy light on the city. Well, at least some of the walls. You have a crane over there, I think, for loading boats. 2 cranes, in fact. Another water mill. Many, many more residential buildings. You have this large tent, perhaps part of a market. Let's go check that out next. Oh, could we dive into the water from here? It's a bit risky, but I think we can manage. Great, we're safe. Can we climb out? Excellent. So let's go see what that tent is about. It looks very well lit. Let me just grab a torch. So that we see better. I also like that a lot of the buildings are labeled, so it's easy to know what everything is. Yes, this does look like a bit of some market stalls. Well, several market stalls under one tent. This is Firefox's Witchwood Wands. We really should put a witch in here, right? Oops, sorry, over here. There we go. Now the market stall is complete. This is Thistlethwaite Royal Tailors. For some reason the royal is... oops. I'm sorry, you are supposed to be in there. Alright, you know, you do whatever you'd like. You're not a slave. This is Ingwe's elvish bows. And what was the fourth? It's Yazut's Hurricane artifacts. Interesting. Oh yes, you have these pressure plates, so even the NPCs can enter and leave. All right. Let's go see what that tower is about. That large towering tower. I like this house too. That chimney. Very whimsical, fairy tale style. Killeric's walking sticks. Oh. Oh yes, and we have some monsters spawning right now. Do you think the city is safe at night? Alright, yeah, thank you. Oh, this must be an important structure over here. There's a sheep learning how to swim. And what might this be? Well, first of all, a very imposing statue. Perhaps this is Manu. But I see no entrance to this large tower. You know, I will just disable all the enemies spawning. We are in creative, so they don't hurt us, but yeah. Did we have a sign of what this was? This was a lecture hall, but on the outside it doesn't say much. So perhaps this is university. We have a lecture hall. We have a library. This is definitely a place of knowledge. We have a study hall. This is where all the wizards must train before they become masters of the art. And you have storage with a lot of decoration chests. Maybe it's all made invisible by some spell one of the wizards cast. Ooh. Do we find our way out of the library or do we get lost? We just have to, yeah, follow the stairs down. I like the flooring here. Alright. Which way should we head next? Let's go see that beacon, perhaps, that collection of beacons. Must be a very important thing. If it's so well built out. I like this wooden building as well. Can we climb on the roof? Yes, but it wouldn't do us much good. So this looks like a huge castle with the amethyst roof. And indeed some, again, eerie looking red magic beams emanating from the tops of those towers. Let us approach it. Whatever bad has ever come out of approaching an evil-looking castle? I like these gardens, but could we please have some stairs to approach the castle itself? Interesting. Let's keep looking. Maybe they really don't like visitors. Although, now we're in. It says this is the Apprentice Tower. Yes, the city puts a lot of emphasis on magic. I hope their health and public transportation is also nice. This is Lesser Tower of Testing. And then we have Mages Guild Towers of High Sorcery. And the Journeyman Tower. And one more. The Greater Tower of Testing. If there is a test to be had, then let's see what the Lesser Tower of Testing is about. I don't quite feel like I'm up to being a mage yet, but let's see nonetheless. You have some cups we have to choose. I choose this. We have a runic table. Some dispensers over here. All sorts of possibly magical contraptions that don't do or say much to a layman like us. But I do like the amethyst roofs. Alright. I don't think we passed that test, but the Wizards Guild or the Mages Guild usually responds within 5 to 10 business days, so we won't know just yet. Now this is the Tower of High Sorcery. Very, very important part of sorcery is having cake, so please keep that in mind the next time you want to deny yourself a treat. Think about how you're going to unlock your wizard powers. If you're not going to have it. In moderation, of course. But sometimes you're allowed to have a little treat. I'm allowed to have a little treat. Sometimes it's fine. There must be some serious mage stuff going on here. Through the realm of Nether. That is not where we'd like to go today. But I must say, you have a wonderful place. Mages and sorcerers and wizards. Eliza Braha, loot boxes. Buy a genuine loot box. It's not as if you're gambling. And then you have a tiny chest over there. That's wonderful. Yes, that's probably what the loot boxes are. Empty boxes. Cedric's Wand Repair. I like that. This city is absolutely enormous. I don't know how many people worked on this or how much time it's taken them, but it's crazy. And look, even this random house that most players will probably never enter is fully furnished and decorated, even from the inside. That is indeed crazy, but in a good way. I quite like this structure as well. Oh, that's a bell, I think. Could it be? This might be a bell tower. A belfry, yes. Another little garden. Truly wonderful. Having this kind of environment of calmness in the middle of the city. I've entirely lost my way, friends, but that was kind of the plan. We never intended to know what we were doing, we just, You know, I talk so much about appreciating what's around us. It was time to do a little exploration video. Rome Square must have been another hero in some shape or form. And then you have, unfortunately we can't read what this is because of the graphic mods, but let's check it out from the inside. Very different looking building, that's for sure. Strange. I couldn't quite tell you. Oops, does it say anything? Deposit box. So maybe a bank? Oh yes, that could be it. It looks like we have reached a gate that leads out of the city. The choke alley. Wow, that sounds sinister. The killing ground. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, we've made it out onto these lovely little docks. We have a lighthouse or something over there. And we have some boats here. And I think this is actually a great opportunity to get on one of these boats and row off into the sunset. Well, there is no sunset, but we can row off. And having explored some of this city, I think we can leave whatever we're going to see next to the next episode. Friends, thank you very much for having joined me. I hope you like this different kind of video where we just look and appreciate and explore and discover. I quite liked it myself, so I think you can expect more of this in the future, but just let me know with a like or a comment, please. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is where you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.